That song makes me happy though. I'm all about freedom. I heard that song last year, I think, and there was something about the beat and the word freedom that just gets me excited. I always pick a theme word for my year, right? Sometimes it can be implementation. This year is freedom. For me, everything that I'm working on is about creating freedom in my life, creating more of that, and my health. Those are two big things for me, health and freedom. So, how's everybody? How's everybody doing? Yes, very good. Welcome back. So, a few years ago, not a few years ago, maybe like 6 years ago, I was at a seminar, and there was this kid. They partnered me with someone, right? And this kid was maybe 28, 30. At that time, I was probably, 38. And he was so confused about my success. Like, I don't know what was it about me that he was so confused about why I was so successful, right? I was sharing what I did and all this, and this kid went to Harvard University, and I didn't. This kid was very proud of working for the financing district in New York, I think, and he was making probably like $250,000. But he was very confused about all these people making more than him. And he was a smart person, genius, right? To go to Harvard University, you have to be very smart. And it goes back, and I wanted to share this with you guys because as I was leaving, it just popped in my head, and I'm like, I have to share this. Because we spent 6 days at this seminar, training 6 days, okay, from 9 a.m. until midnight every night. It was a very long training. And the whole week, I could hear this kid just wondering about trying to figure out the mystery of making money, right? And me, I'm very simple, right? The way that I speak, the way that I do things, and I'm just sharing, having fun. And he was like, at the end of the day, at the end of the seminar, he goes, wow, I get it now. He goes, successful people are ordinary people making extraordinary things. Okay? So this is a guy who was so smart, and he only knew how to work with systems, right? And what he learned, back to that fixed mindset, right? And either you are or you're not. And so after spending 5-6 days with all these entrepreneurs in this seminar, the last thing he said to me was like, wow, I get it now. Success is ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Is that true or not? It is, right? It's not always the smartest person that makes a lot of money. I mean, unless you're a genius and you're like Bill Gates, right, and you invent the next big thing of computers, whatever it is, then you make money, you make good money. But there's also a lot of geniuses out there. They're working for someone. They're inventing things for someone else. And I always say either you are working on your dreams or you're working on someone else's dreams, right? So what are you going to do, right? So this 3 days is about you learning and taking all this in and making crazy decisions in your life and making extraordinary decisions in your life. If people tells you you suck, you're going to do it, even if it's whatever people think, right? You are just going to do it. You're going to create craziness in your life, madness in your life. Like me, no one believed in me when I started my company, Ruby Makeup Academy. People made fun of me. People told me I couldn't do it. And I felt bad for that minute. And I was like, but I can do it. I know I can do it. Why are these people telling me that I cannot do it? So I couldn't hear their no's. I couldn't hear like all the nonsense that they told me. When I asked a friend to invest in my company, he made fun of me and he laughed. He goes, you're not gonna make money on that with that. Who wants to learn makeup? I was like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out, right? And anyways, he made fun of me. He said, you're not going to do anything with this, so take a chance. You're on your own, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then now he goes, wow, I'm so proud of you. I'm so impressed with your success. And I go, really? Because I do remember 11 years ago, you telling me I was not going to do anything with my life, right? So I want to take a few questions. I know that some of you guys had questions, but I had to leave the stage. Can I have a couple of people come to the microphone so I can get answers to your questions? People? Am I going to call names here? Go to the microphone. Don't be shy, guys. And also, there's never a stupid question. You guys invested your time and money to be here. Come to the microphone and ask questions.
How do you get out of the mindset when we talked about artistry, management, and entrepreneurship? How do you get out of that artistry mindset? Because I feel like I'm stuck in between entrepreneurship and artistry, and I need that management. But how do I get out of that mindset?
Well, you have to figure out first what you need the most. So you already know you're the artist, or you know that you are the entrepreneur and you're trying to get there?
I'm both artist and entrepreneurship, but I need that management.
Both hats come from the same
Yes.
place, because you have to be creative. Except for a lot of the artists, they create something that is visual. The entrepreneur is still creating, right? But it's a vision, right? And so you're in the right place. So what I do, for me, what I did was buy books on the things that I wanted to learn. Go to seminars like what you guys do in here, right? This is it. This is you already putting yourself, in a different place. You're setting things in motion, right, to learn different things. But at home, I have a desk that is for my left side of the brain where I do work, emails, when I'm looking at charts, when I'm looking at reports, right? When I'm handling situations, right? Where I put together my material to train my salespeople, right? When I'm putting things that I create for my Instagrammers or events that I have to go to, all that, right? So that's my left side of the brain. And it's funny because I put it on the right side of the brain, so I force my brain to keep pushing for that. And then on the left side of my room, I have my creative space, right? And so I give myself time to get creative with what I'm doing. And then when it's time to get to work for the company and do management stuff and, and do different things like that, then I move to my desk and do that. And I do have vision boards too. I have 2 boards, one where everything is about beauty and color and fun things, right? And then the other one is about creating visuals that inspire me to do more, right? I have Tony Robbins' picture in my business side of my room, right, where I get inspired. And I always ask myself, like, what would this person do if this person would be in this situation, right? And so I put things that inspire me to think more as an entrepreneur on this side, and then I put things that inspire me to get creative on the other side. But I'm always buying books on everything that I don't know. Like if I want to start a planning business, an event planning business, right? I'm going to go and figure out how people are doing it. If I want to do more, if I want to get more involved with building my company, I'm going to go and take branding classes. I'm going to go and take marketing classes. I'm going to read on biographies. Biographies inspire you guys to do the impossible because it's real when you see someone else doing it, right? When you hear someone comes from nothing and they're here, you're like, oh, wow, it's real then, right? And so that's the best way for me. Like I said, I mentioned the 10 things, to do. Those are the best thing. One, keep dreaming big. The other side is like I set up everything for success in my life, okay? I set up everything for success. Say that. Set up everything for success. A lot of times we're just doing things every day. And so we're going to set up things for success. We're going to go to this side and say, this is where I'm going to get creative. We're going to go to this side, and this is where you're going to deal with business, right? And then you break it down in times, different time frames, right? Like from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. People don't just show up and they're lucky and they create success. Everything they do, from like the minute that they get up in the morning to the things that they do before they even get to the office, is designed to create success. is designed to create success, guys. So people are not just lucky. You buy a lottery ticket if you want to be lucky. And let me know if you win the lottery, right? If you want to be successful, you create a plan for it. You say, from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. In order to get here, I have to read this. I have to learn about this. I have to know more of this. I have to build relationships. I have to do this and I have to do that, right? And so it makes a big difference when you design everything around your life to create success. Does that make sense? Come on, one more question. Go.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, Rubí.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Pablo, soy Pablo.
Pablo,
Mi nombre
un
es
placer.
Pablo, vengo de Los Ángeles.
De Los
North Hollywood.
Ángeles, yay, my town. Woo!
De North Hollywood. Te pido un favor, ¿puedo hablar en español? Para
Habla en
poderme-
español y yo lo traduzco. I'm going to translate, guys, okay? So he's more comfortable with Spanish.
Ok. Yo soy florista. He trabajado toda mi vida haciendo diseño floral. Y llevo bastante tiempo trabajando para empresas, diferentes empresas, de las cuales se encargan de hacer decoraciones para gente muy importante, incluyendo celebrities y
Right.
gente famosa. Hace no mucho tiempo tomé la decisión de comenzar mi propio negocio, porque ya estoy cansado de ver cómo las compañías hacen dinero
And
y
you're
a,
not.
y a nosotros. Yo soy el diseñador principal y a mí me toca una mínima parte de todo ese dinero que ganan. Durante algún tiempo he estado tratando y tal parece que la decisión más importante que he tomado es empezar por mí mismo.
Right.
Pero ahora, un consejo o en qué área tengo que trabajar más para poder tener ese éxito que tanto he estado buscando.
Okay, so he's a florist and he's the designer. So he is the artist, right? He's passionate about what he does. And he's been working with companies that make a lot of money. They create all these arrangements for celebrities, for big shows, right? So they're making the big money. But who's designing everything? He is. And what is he getting? A minimum, whatever they decide he's worth, right? And so he now started his company, right? And what you want to know is what to focus on. ¿En qué te vas a enfocar para crecer tu negocio?
Sí, para eso estoy aquí, para encontrar la forma de en qué área me tengo que enfocar principalmente para finalmente tener ese éxito que las grandes compañías tienen, porque finalmente toda la mano de obra la estoy haciendo yo soy el que creo todas las
Right.
ideas. Entonces nada más me falta ese
Yeah. Okay, so he's the artist now and he's on his own. And so his question is what I focus on, right? There's a lot that he has to focus on, okay? One is create the image of your business. One of the things that we're doing today, that we're working today, is working on a brand, on your brand, right? Because you have to know what you're selling. You have to know who you are. And I have an expert for you guys today that's going to talk about branding, right? But we're going to work on that. So first you have to create the image that you want people to see and recognize, not the artist. The artist can come in later to, people will hire you because you are the talent, the artist, the image, right? But right now you have to create an image that people want, that people need in their life, right? With that, you're going to create a message, and with that message, you're going to create the right marketing to attract the right people to your business. When you don't have the image and the message, when you're talking to people, they don't understand what you're selling. Okay, when you create an image, when you create a brand, people relate to that. They're like, that's just me right there, right? And you buy that. So you're doing the right thing. The first thing is being here, taking a business class, right? So you can learn of what you need. Okay, I can spend all day telling you what you need. And we are going to spend all weekend telling you what you have to put in place. But the first thing is we're going to work on your image, create a message, and then the marketing have to come together to attract people. Okay? And that's what you're going to get out of this seminar. So you're in the right place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Crystal.
Ruby, you're done
We're good?
for the moment.
Okay. Sorry they cut me short, but we'll do more questions later. I'll
There'll
come
be
back.
Lots
Save your
of Ruby
questions.
time to come. Okay, So you guys, when you break for lunch, at the back table, your coaching appointment cards will be there, so make sure and pick it up so that you know when your appointment is. We do have a few VIP tickets left, so just a reminder, VIP gets you lunch every day. It gets you to the Hollywood Glam cocktail party. And there's a gift bag that goes with that that's over $200 worth of cosmetics. So the VIP is $199, so just the cosmetics alone is more than that in the bag. For those of you that already are VIP or you're going to upgrade before lunch, the VIP lunch is in the La Sierra 1, which I think is across the hall. You will need your VIP tags. They will be checking them as people are coming in, so make sure that you're wearing that, please, for your VIP. For those of you that did not do VIP, there's tons of food options in the casino, so just go back up those escalators into the main casino. I don't recommend that you leave the grounds, because that'll be 2 or 3 hours later before you would get back. There's tons and tons of food. There's buffet and the Grand Cafe and just a lot of choices for you. Final note, do not miss your coaching appointment, right? So there's 120 of you in the room and there's 2 coaches. So that 15-minute slot that you got, that's it. That's your one chance. So make sure when you know when your appointment is that you get in there on time so you can work with the girls. All right, our next guest, we're so excited to bring, as Ruby mentioned, a branding specialist. He's done branding for us on Ruby Makeup Academy. He's a good friend of ours. He came in from San Diego last night just to be with you guys. So please pay attention because branding is everything. It's what differentiates you from the rest. It's what makes you you and gets you unique. And so before I go off on that and say all the wrong things, I am going to bring up our next speaker, a good friend of mine, Mr. Ree Perez, here on branding.
Bottle full of bug, mama, I got what you need. If you need to feel the buzz, I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, if you're into getting rough, you can find me in the club. Bottle full of bug, mama, I got.
You guys ready to get your branding on today? All right, awesome. So first of all, I just want to acknowledge, so I've done a big event like this a few years ago. I just want to acknowledge Ruby and her team. To get all of you guys to come to Vegas, to block out time to work on your schedule is a big deal, and you guys actually showed up. So it's a huge testament to the love and energy that Ruby put on this event. So I just want to give her a big round of applause for this. Is my presentation up? Okay, cool. So actually, I'm going to show you, there's a few things that I want to teach you about branding today. I want to demystify branding for you, but I'd like to do a quick exercise. You guys up for that? All right, so I want you to take out your dominant leg in front of you, and I want to take your foot, and you should sit up on your chair, right? And I want you to turn your foot in a clockwise direction. Okay, so you're turning your foot in a clockwise direction. Keep doing that. Now I want you to take out your dominant arm and your finger in front of you. And then I want you to take your finger, keep turning your foot in a clockwise direction, and then now draw the number 6 with your finger. So what happened, right? One of 2 things happened. Some of you are still figuring out what happened. So one of 2 things happened. Either your foot stopped in midair, or your foot went in the same direction as you drawing the number 6. But what really happened is, see, turning your foot in a clockwise direction, that is a conscious activity. Drawing the number 6, because our brains are so programmed to draw the number 6, it's now in our subconscious. But what's more important is that in everyday purchasing behavior, the subconscious takes over our conscious. You should write that down. The subconscious takes over our conscious. And why do you care about this? Because 95% of all purchasing decisions is made in the subconscious. You know, the real exciting thing about speaking with this audience is because you guys care about beauty. So this is like, you're my people, right? I'm a brander, so we obviously care about the way things look. And why? Because the way things look and the way things show up, consciously and subconsciously, can determine whether or not someone will buy from you. Okay, so why I'm a credible person to talk about branding? I worked at the largest global branding firm in New York, and worked on big Fortune 500 brands. My story, kind of very briefly, is I left New York. Actually, no. What I wanted to tell you is that I'm sitting in front of the Global Human Resources Director's chair, and I'm wondering, why am I getting passed up for all these positions? And I'm smart. I'm good at what I do. I'm talented. And you know what she said to me? She said, I didn't have enough gray hair. I didn't have enough gray hair. Now, if you know anything about human resources, that's one of the most illegal things that you could say. But here's where perception matters, right? I didn't look old enough to be able to rise up the ranks in this company. So I knew that there was going to be a gray ceiling for me in this company, right? And so I left that, and I ended up working for some other firms. My last post was in Dubai, in the Middle East. Has anyone ever worked internationally? No. So I worked for a couple positions, and it did take me all over the Middle East and also South America and Mexico. And I have a Spanish last name. I know quite a lot of Spanish, but mainly when I'm drunk. So if you get me drunk, I'll know a lot more Spanish. But over the past 6 years, I left that and I decided I wanted to start my own branding agency. And I wanted to help entrepreneurs like you guys and small businesses build their brand. Take the same level of Fortune 500 branding best practices to help you guys so that you can achieve rapid growth, or you can position yourself as a market leader. Now, here's the thing, because there's so many people that are teaching about branding, and a lot of it is inaccurate. They either come from a marketing background or a design background or a PR or advertising background. What I'm going to be teaching you today is from a branding background, okay? And so this works with, can you guys see the screen okay? It's okay? So this is a sample of some of our clients over the past 6 years. I'm going to share a few of them with you today. But I'd like to start off with this question. What is a brand? First of all, who can recognize all 5 of these logos? All right, I think I saw your hand first. What's your name again? Shout it out, so I know that we're recording this, but you have to recognize all 5 of these logos, right? Okay, who knows all 5 logos? Yes. That's very close. So IBM, Rolls-Royce, Apple, Sony, very good, and Disney. So what is a brand? Throw out like one word. What? The face of your company. What else? Image. Your image, okay. How about back there? This is a little quiet group in the back. Yes. Your logo? Okay, awesome. Awesome that you said that. Brand is not your logo. It's not your tagline. It's not your website. It's none of those things. So you might be asking yourself, well, if brand is not any of those things, what is a brand? So I'm going to give you my 3-word definition. This is the definition that I used in my career. Brand is a desired perception. So write that down. Brand is a desired perception. So if brand is a desired perception, you technically don't own your brand. It resides in the minds of the people that you're communicating to. So therefore, branding is the process of creating, shaping, and influencing the desired perception that you'd like to have. Now here's the thing. You're creating a perception of me. The only thing that I could do is create a desired perception that I like for you to have of me, that I know what I'm talking about, that I'm personable, etc., right? But people will form a perception of you regardless. If you're more strategic and directive in creating that desired perception that is true to who you are, that's where the magic comes in, okay? Virtually anything can be branded: a company, a product, a service, a body part. So virtually anything can be branded, all based on what's the desired perception that you're trying to create. Now, if you're wondering, why should you care about this? I'd like to share a story about an 18-karat gold pair of earrings. So a professor at one of the top business schools asked a group of students how much would they pay for this 18-karat gold pair of earrings. And they said $500. He then asked a second group of students how much would they pay for the same exact pair of earrings, except it was branded Tiffany. What happened? It increased 60%. But here's where it gets even more interesting. He asked the third group of students how much would they pay for the same exact pair of earrings, except it was branded Walmart. What happened? It decreased 85%. So how many of you in your business, how many of you want to be like the Tiffany of the industry? Okay, well, that's all right. And how many want to be the Walmart of your industry? All right, cool. Okay, hey, and there's nothing wrong with that. Walmart is it's a big brand. It's just a different market, right? It goes back to who you're targeting, right? So, okay, yeah, woo. In the time that I have, there's 3 things before logo, before your website, before any of these things, there's 3 things that I want to share with you and teach you. There's 3 things that you need. You need a brand positioning, you need a visual identity, and you need a verbal identity. So part of what I'm going to be doing today is to expand your awareness and understanding about each of these 3 things so that you can take action with it. Now, just know that there might be some things that you can implement on your own today, and there might be some things where you'll need to hire someone, right? You'll need to work with Ruby, or you have a designer, or you have a friend that can help you build certain things. Either way, you should be able to apply these 3 things into your business as soon as possible. So the first thing is brand positioning. What is that? Brand positioning is probably the foundation for anything in terms of design or copy. It determines what types of businesses are in here. I know that they're on the beauty industry, but call it out. Tell me what kind of business you guys have. A spa, okay. A what? I couldn't hear it. Gotcha, okay. Retail store? Cosmetics? Image consultant, okay, great. Awesome, so it's actually funny, we've worked with a lot of these different types of industries as well. How do you position yourself distinct from other spa companies, right? Image consultants. Why are they going to choose you over someone else? So same thing for us. Everything that I teach is things that we've practiced for ourselves as well. So this is what's called a positioning map. When I started the company 6 years ago, I was looking at branding agencies that targeted the big companies on the left side versus branding agencies that targeted the small businesses. And then I looked at this other side of the spectrum where there are branding agencies that are highly strategic, or they're tactical or more specialized. And what did I find? I found these big firms. You may not be aware of a lot of them because they're more B2B. These are the big firms. I worked for 2 of them. And then on the bottom left, they also target the big companies, but they're more specialized. They might focus on design or brand environments, et cetera. And nothing wrong with that. That's just their position in the marketplace. When I came into the small business space, what did I find? I found, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with these resources, but I found 99 Designs, Fiverr, or CrowdSpring. And my personal favorite is my nephew or my cousin can do my branding. And that's just not where we position ourselves. This is just not who we are. I felt that there was a hole in the market for big thinking, highly strategic, highly powerful approach to branding to help you skyrocket your business, okay? So that's our positioning. You should be thinking about for yourself is if you were to map out your business in the context of all the other businesses, what does that look like for you? Now, there's 3 things that you want to look at when it comes to how to best position yourself. 1, it's got to be something credible. It's got to be something that you can own, right? So what makes you credible as an image consultant, or what makes you credible as a spa owner? So it's got to be something that you can own. The second thing, it's got to be something unique or differentiating in the marketplace. And then the third thing is, what's relevant? What's relevant to your target audiences? So the first one obviously looks at you, credibility. The uniqueness looks at the competitive landscape. And then the third thing is it looks at your target audiences. You guys with me so far? Okay, so it's the intersection of all 3 of these things is where you want to best position your brand. Okay, visual identity. I figured you guys might be, who's a visual learner? Okay, I figured as much. All right, cool. So I'm going to show you some before and afters because this is where you kind of see where the rubber meets the road. So this is the second thing you need is a visual identity. This is so much more than the logo. It's more of a whole look and feel, right? Some of you are nodding your heads. It's like a look and feel that you own in the marketplace. So this is actually Ruby and Trish and I, this is a mutual friend of ours that we know. Her name is Maria Andros. Does anyone know Maria Andros? No one? Okay. This was her before. And I was really excited to work on this brand because we got inspired from a luxury brand to do her branding. So how would you describe her brand? What's that? Plain? It doesn't look professional, yes? Can't even tell what she's doing? Too focused? Oh, no focus, okay. Okay. Wow, like what? Okay, it's not drawing your attention, so it's busy. You guys are a tough crowd. Thank God I have a good after image. This is the logo that we created for her. In fact, this is one of the fonts that's used in high fashion. And then she hired a friend of mine who's a New York fashion photographer to create a whole new photography style. She's a business and marketing coach. And in this industry, this is not a look and feel that is very common. This is a mock-up of how we just use this editorial style of imagery and some of her photos in this font. This is her direct mail piece. I mean, wouldn't you be more inclined to like look at, and how would you describe her branding now? Elegant, clean, luxurious, focused, okay. So this is what you want for your brand as well. Remember I talked about brand being a desired perception? If you want to be perceived as elegant, or if you want to be perceived as sophisticated, you have to show up that way. And I get wherever you are, some of you are just starting out, right? You have to bootstrap it as you go along. But just because you're bootstrapping it doesn't mean you have to look like you're bootstrapping it, okay? This is a Hawaiian bikini clothing brand. How would you describe her branding here? And it may not be that bad, but how would you just give a couple adjectives? Cheap? Okay. It doesn't say high-end. Lost, you said? So she's actually the only Hawaiian bikini clothing brand that's actually made in Hawaii, and she wanted to rebrand, and I'm not the target audience for this product apparently, I mean obviously, but, but apparently women who are very active when it comes to like surfing, and they want to have a bikini that's not only stylish, but it also doesn't fall off, right, so that it's functional. So her whole brand idea was styled for adventure. And we carried that out to a visual look and feel. So when I said visual identity, you notice that she has multiple colors to her logo. She has a whole color palette, which are Hawaii inspired. But then we also created a visual language with these patterns. And this is not your 70s kind of Hawaii look and feel. We wanted to create something that was modern and contemporary. So we created these patterns. It came into all of her, her marketing materials, her brochures, her hang tags, and even the actual package that all of her sales are done online. So even the package where the bikinis arrive. So how would you describe this brand now? High-end? Unique? Okay. Cool. Can you see the difference between the two? All right, cool. The third thing that you need is a verbal identity. Now, this is probably one of those things that's not really talked about that often, but this has to do with things that are more dealing with the verbal vocabulary, the copy, the words. More importantly, the voice of the brand. Now, the voice of your brand can obviously be portrayed through visuals, but I want to zero in on what's called a verbal identity. Now, we always like to say that professional is not a personality. Has anyone ever said, oh, I want to look professional? You can't go to a designer and say, hey, make me look professional, right? Because they won't know what to do with that. All 5 of these personality figures are professionals, but they have distinct personalities. Now, from your perspective, it's like you want to have your personality on loudspeaker, right? You want to identify what is your personality, and that should carry through in your voice. Here's another example, right? So that's talk show hosts. These are comedians. They all have a distinct kind of personality. Does this make sense so far? Okay, cool. I know I was telling you guys the story of, the example that I like to share is just even with our own brand, because I'm a big advocate of practicing what I preach. So when I left this position in Dubai, I didn't tell you the story about why I left. I ended up, I was in the Middle East, and I was going through a breakup with someone who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. Anyway, that left me to go back to New York. I took about 6 months off to figure out life, and I went to Sedona, Arizona, and I did a lot of reading and journaling, and I did what most people do when they go through a breakup. I got in the best shape of my life. So I was doing yoga every single day, and I remember someone said, oh, you should go check out Yoga to the People in New York. I was like, all right, maybe. And then I was in San Francisco, and I went to an Equinox Fitness out there, and then I went to lunch, and this is the picture of the restaurant, and I was just journaling, and I saw the sign, Feed the People. And I said, what about branding for the people, right? And that's actually how the name of the company came about. But we've carried that verbal identity through all of our different touch points. So it worked for us. We've, obviously we named the company Branding for the People. Our newsletters are called News for the People. We offer copywriting services, Copy for the People. We have a social media arm, Talk with the People. But where it gets exciting is we have gift bags, right? Bag for the people. And I did what most people do, because I remember I worked in corporate. I was like, I didn't want to walk around with a Xerox or an Intel bag. So I wanted, like, how Bloomingdale's has like the big brown bag? So I kind of got inspiration from that, and I said, well, it's Bloomingdale's when you see big brown bag. You don't have to see Bloomingdale's on it. So that's the same thing I did with the bag for the people. For our clients, we go mugs for the people. Usually when I'm at events and we're sponsoring them and we have a whole booth, we've got chocolate for the people. I'm sorry I don't have chocolate for you guys today. Yeah. All right. So first of all, do those three things make sense? Okay, cool. Now I want to give you a very simple, high-level overview about the branding process. Because one of the number one questions I get is, where do I start? Right? And it's always been my intention when I decided to leave the big companies and help entrepreneurs is to make it simple, easy, and understand, and to demystify this. So this is a high-level chart. This is our signature process. You want to go through basically a discovery phase. You obviously want to learn the basics about branding. You want to evaluate your current brand, what works, what doesn't work. Positioning, which is what I spoke about, is defining and crystallizing your strategy into positioning. For now, obviously take a picture of the chart, but for now, just know that there's a broader framework. You don't need all of this right now. You just need to know what the framework is. So positioning is phase 2, is defining and crystallizing the strategy and the positioning and the desired perception that you need to create in the marketplace. Then you move into phase 3, which is the creative. And that's where you look at both the visual and the verbal identity. That's where you come up with logos and photography and imagery style and a whole look and feel that you can own in your marketplace. Then phase 4 is activation. So what does this mean? This is like this is where you go to your website designer, your web developer. See, most people starting with your website, but you need all the content and the design and the strategy and the messaging to inform a website that's going to convert. Right? So activation is website. It could be whatever it is that you're using in your marketing. And then phase 5, which is really something that you should be on. Usually when people work with us, they go through the branding process. It's a lifelong journey because you should constantly be managing your perception over time. It will evolve. It will expand. You might need to change your business, in which case you need to shift the perception. So you want to constantly manage your brand. It's an asset to your company. As you're building your business, your brand is an asset. In fact, the largest branding firm says that it's a third of shareholder value, your brand. That's how important it is. Okay. We have a full-service agency. How many would you be interested in learning more about branding? Okay, cool. So obviously I had just a little bit of time with you. I want to give you a simple resource for you to just get started. Whether you are still new to branding or whether you are pretty rocking it out with your branding, but you always want to take it to the next level. You actually want to learn from, and by the way, I know someone asked earlier, what are some of the best books that Ruby reads? I've looked at all the branding books on the marketplace. all the branding books, when you look at the authors, they come from a marketing, an advertising, PR, they come from a different, they don't come from a branding background, maybe one. And if they do come up from a branding background, they're not from a practitioner's perspective. I have a 25-year career in branding, so everything that I teach is real-world experience to help businesses, not theory, not philosophy. So the only thing that I really have to offer you today as a starting point, if down the road you want to work with us, that's awesome. You know, we should have a conversation in the back of the room about how to work with us in the future. But for now, the only thing I really want to offer you today is a brand training program. It's a self-study, it's at your own pace. If, like Ruby said, if you're a consumer of information and knowledge and you really want to add this to your success library, branded the program. Like I said, I did an event three years ago. We recorded this whole event. It's 3 days of me teaching on branding. So if you enjoyed just half an hour, then hopefully you'll enjoy 3 days of me teaching. It's actually 15 hours once we did all the editing. So it's all online. If for some reason you want the DVD version, we'd be happy to send you the DVD version, but it's all online, it's at your own pace, and it's designed to help you, walk you through how to create your own brand so you can make more money. This is for you if you want to make more money, if you care about design and aesthetics, if you want to stand out in a crowded marketplace, if you're someone who likes to learn and take action. So don't buy this product if you're just going to, this program, if you're just going to buy it and never consume the information. We're a big advocate of actually people consuming our products and our programs, and we love getting the success stories of how they've been able to apply that. And if you want to build a brand that attracts ideal customers, this product is for you. 15 hours of online. We also have a 50-page brand building workbook that you can download immediately. And it walks you through step by step all this different teaching on how you can create. This is for the do-it-yourselfer or someone who is eventually going to work with us, but they want to get all the data points so that we can best help them. You are part of an online community of entrepreneurs, and it's online access. Okay. I could say that the value of this is priceless because it doesn't really exist out there in the marketplace in terms of this kind of teaching. Our clients have reported back to us that we've helped them double, triple, or quadruple their revenues. We've gotten some of our clients on Inc. 500. Lots of success stories, lots of testimonials. You can Google me or our company. So I could say it's priceless. The investment, you can go on my website. We offer this for $9.97. But because we love Ruby and because we know that this is just all new to you, we're going to actually give you a discount on this. You guys interested in learning more about that? All right. So here's how it works. We're pretty digital. Our agency is a cool, hip, trendy company. So we're digital. So there's no paper forms for you to fill out in terms of ordering. But here's how it works. If you go to brandingforthepeople.com/shop, you're going to be directed to a shopping cart, and you're going to add a product called Brand of the Program, which is what I just described, and you're going to enter the promo code RUBY, and it's going to take 50% off of that price. So in the promo code, you'll see you just add in the word Ruby. This offer will be available only for today. I'm actually just flew in just for this event. If you want to save 50% off of this program, if you want to grow and learn and build your brand, we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you decide you want to take advantage of this offer and we have not delivered any great value in that training, just please email my team. We'd be happy to refund your investment. That being said, whether or not you're interested in that or not, oh, I'm sorry, one last thing. In the back of the room, can you do me a favor? So if you are going to do this, I would recommend if you do this while I'm here, you are actually going to get, if you can look to the back room, you're actually going to get one of my signature bags for the people, which, by the way, they're not cheap. You should use them when you go shopping or whatnot. We have green, orange, and blue. It's good for recycling. It's good for the gym and whatnot. And I'll be in the back of the room if you have any questions that you want to ask of me regarding this program or anything about our company. And that being said, learn more. We have lots of great free resources on brandingforthepeople.com. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I look forward to speaking with you.
Hello, hello. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Reese, so much. Look, I love you.
Push you, I love you too.
Right. Wasn't he great? Was that amazing? Branding for me, it's everything, guys. It's everything that I do in my business have to do with branding, okay? And the way that I met Ree was 4 or 5 years ago. I was working with Maria Andros, the first show that he showed you guys, the girl with the red and the little crown on the play button, right, for YouTube. She was my coach, and she was, she had a mastermind, right, that I was part of it. And so I was with her when she was at the beginning of her business. Next year, as I'm exiting her program, I come back to my last seminar with her, right, my last mastermind, and I discovered this whole new brand, and I was like, Maria, where did you get this from? This is freaking amazing, right? And I'm loving this. I was like, wow, this was day and night. It was such an incredible thing. I think that was the first time that I understood the power of a brand, right? I was like so impressed by it. So a few months later, she starts her new group, her new mastermind, no, her event, something like this, right? At the first event that I went to, she probably had like 30, 40 people in her event, right? And the next year when I went back to her event, her place had about 170 people. The difference from her brand, from what she had, like some of you guys said, cheap, right? Didn't know what she was selling. The brand attracted the right people. The brand attracted higher level clients, people that were able to spend more money with her, and she filled up a room, all right? And so when I saw that, I was like, who did this? And she goes, shh, I'm not sharing. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna figure it out. You know me, right? I figure out everything. So I said, later, right, she told me, well, I have a friend, his name is Ree Perez, and I was like, Ree Perez? Even his name sounds cool. I was so excited. I was in love with her brand. I was so obsessed that I fell in love with the person who was behind the brand, right? I think a year later, I went to Susanna events in Las Vegas, here in Las Vegas, and I find out that Ree's there. I was literally chasing him. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? I need to meet him. I need to find him. Like, I need to know more from this guy, because I saw at that moment the power of creating the right brand, the right message. And I saw Maria going from having a few people to having 100 and something people in a room, right? And people that were willing to spend money with him. And so for me, it was very important. I think I begged him for like a whole year. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I go, my people needs you. You need to be there. So literally 2 weeks ago, I said, okay, my event is in 2 weeks. You have to be there. Even if it's just for a few hours, I want them to meet you. I said, I want to share with them my resources, right? And by the way, what he's giving you here is priceless. But just to put a value on that, I spent probably about close to $20,000 to get what he's giving you guys for $500. $20,000, I literally, and wrote a check, paid him, or a credit card, I don't know, paid him $20,000 to spend a day with him. I had to also pay for my expenses to fly to New York, okay, because I wanted to work with the best. And so I flew to New York. I spent a week over there. I learned from him. He gave me such a strategy for my business, for my brand, my message, and everything, and it cost me $20,000. So I said, well, you cannot charge $20,000 to my people. He goes, okay, let me put something together for them, right? And so he created this program, the same thing that he teaches in one day. He put it together for you to create the same thing, right? To create the kind of brand that will attract the right people to your business, that will create the need for your services, and that will make people want to pay anything for you. Now, this is going to be at your own pace, right? But if we're determined, right, to make it happen, and we're going to find a way, this is a way to create the right brand for your company, right? For me, a company without a brand, it's like a person without a personality. How attractive is that? Not at all, right? When you walk into the room, do you want to hang out with the person that doesn't have a personality, or with that person that you go, wow, who is that? I want to hang out with this person, right? So that's what happens when you create a brand. So I'm going to ask you guys, go back, talk to him, ask questions. Really, it's not about pushing anything or sell you on anything that you don't want. He's here to help the people that needs a brand. And whether you're an individual or a company, just ask some questions. Talk to him, find out if it's something that you want to do. And if not, just absorb all the information that he gave you, and then we'll talk more about brand later today. Okay?
Ruby, just a few notes. I have a few, I'm right here. Just keep looking. Here I am. I'm not even going to go up there. Just a few housekeeping notes. First thing, I'm trying to figure out why Ruby paid Reed $20,000 and I paid him $35,000. Seems like Ruby got a discount. Anyway, but that being said, I'm also about, who's about easy in this room, right? The way Reed put that up, you've got to kind of get your phone out. You've got to do stuff. Reed, if they're interested in the product or program, can they just walk back to you and talk to you? You've got some information. You could fill out a card with your credit card information, and he can take care of you that way. Because sometimes it's like, I've got so many texts, I can't do that as well. And I'm trying to Snapchat and Instagram and all that good stuff. So just go back. Also, if you know you need branding and this program may not be perfect for you, just go back and talk to Reed, because he can talk to you about a multitude of things that he does and what might be right for you. That being said, we are going to take a lunch break. If you are VIP, can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Right. You are right across the hall. It's a beautiful lunch set up for you. Ruby and Trish are going to be networking with you and connecting with you, so you'll go across the hall. Everyone else, we will be back here at 2:50. There are restaurants in the casino, as she said. And on your way out the door, your coaching zone form is there with your time of your appointment. Please pick it up. If there's a few that are missing, we are still scheduling a few, and it'll be ready for you when you get back from lunch. But get yourself branded. Go see Reed, and he smells really good. Hug him. All right, have a great lunch.
Ask questions, guys, and see you guys in the lunchroom.